Hi guys, it's Xenia. Welcome back to my channel. You guys know my passion for affordable perfumes, and today I have like the ultimate affordable perfume video because today I'm going to focus on affordable perfumes that smell exactly like, they are almost spot on dupes to the original, more expensive, luxurious counterpart. Some of these are even dupes to like niche, like high end type of fragrances that are like over $300, and I have duped them for 20 bucks. You can find pretty much every single one of these fragrances for $20 or less. Now, obviously, I'm not knocking the actual expensive perfumes. Like, they're expensive for a reason. They're made with high quality ingredients. It also depends on the name of the brand. So all of that kind of goes into why fragrances are as expensive as they are. So I'm not trying to knock those fragrances, but I know that people either don't have the funds to go for those fragrances or they just don't want to. Like, who wants to? Unless you are perfume obsessed like I am, and I know a lot of people are, then who wants to spend that much money on just a perfume? Some perfumes out here are literally a car payment, and obviously instead of going that route, you could get a perfume that costs you 20 bucks, smells exactly the same. I will say performance on all of these is also amazing. Like, these are not just scent wise dupes, but they perform really well. Some of these honestly perform better than the originals. All of these except one, I do not own the actual original, like whatever these are compared to perfumes, and that's simply because I don't want duplicates in my collection. But obviously I know what each and every one of those smells like. I have either owned them at one point and never repurchased them because I found the dupes, or obviously I've looked into getting them, I've smelled them, I've liked them, but not enough to actually commit to that price point, so I've just duped it out and now I'm like set. I've never even thought once to actually buy the expensive versions of any of these. Anyways, with all that being said, please make sure that you are subscribed to my channel and turn your post notifications on, and let's get straight into this video. The first perfume that I'm going to dupe is Rosa's Vanille by Zara. This has been a perfume that all of you pretty much have told me to get my hands on because you know I like sweeter scents, and apparently people say this literally smells like rose ice cream. It's like a really weird combination of being super floral but also really sweet and gourmand at the same time, and you know those two don't always mix, but I do think that this is a really well done perfume. I was in, I think, either Nordstrom or Saks. I always confuse the two. And I was smelling Rosa's Vanille, and to be quite honest, I almost bought it, but it was like 200 and something, and like I sprayed it on my hand and I was like, okay, this is pretty, but I was just not in love with it to actually commit to that price point. And after doing a little bit of research, I came across a dupe, and not only just a dupe, but like these two, there's no difference, literally none. Zero. So this perfume is Rose Gourmand by Zara. This perfume you can literally find for $20. Now I will say, when I was trying to find this perfume, I could not find it anywhere. Like, it was sold out on Zara, and I have not checked recently. Obviously all these perfumes will be linked down below, so I will check on the actual Zara website if this is available, but if it's not, I will probably link a Mercari link or wherever I can find this perfume. And that's actually where I bought this perfume. I did overpay just a little bit. I believe I paid $30 for this instead of $20, which I would have gotten at Zara, but I mean, for it being so hard to find right now, I definitely was okay with paying $30, especially because Rosa's Vanille is over 200. And actually the girl that sold me this sent me a little Montel Intense Cafe little sample, which I thought was really sweet of her. I obviously did not know that I was getting that. So as you can see on the screen right now, the dominant notes for both of these are obviously roses and vanilla. And to be quite honest, that is the main thing that you smell, and it's such a odd combination of the two. I never would have thought the two would smell so good together, like done to this kind of power, I guess, because it is such a strong scent. And let me tell you, this is a Zara perfume, but this is a beast when it comes to projection, when it comes to longevity, when it comes to sillage. And I found that to be the same with the original, and I would definitely hope so for that kind of price point. But to get the exact same type of performance, not only smell, in a scent that is this price point, like, why would anybody need to go and pay that price? Obviously, Rosa's Vanille does have a few other notes in it added, whereas this one, the only other notes other than that rose and vanilla is amber. So there is kind of like that little touch of creaminess, which goes hand in hand with that vanilla, but the dominant note is rose, I would say. And although it's only in the top notes, that rose really dominates in the middle, in the dry down after the dry down. Like, you're gonna be smelling like a rose, but also like an ice cream. Think of a rose ice cream if that exists. But if that existed, that is exactly what you would get in this perfume. This is a new perfume for me, so you'll probably see this coming up in some sort of perfume haul, but I had to include it in this video for the sake of this dupe because it's just too good for me not to mention. So that is Rose Gourmand by Zara, and it is a perfect dupe to Rosa's Vanille by Mancera. The next dupe is another pretty much spot on dupe for Viktor and Ralph's Bonbon, which is a really cute little perfume bottle. It's in a shape of a little bow, and it honestly smells amazing because at one of my previous jobs I used to smell it all the time. I used to spray it on me in my work shifts, and I love the smell, but literally after, I mean like 5 minutes, I could not smell myself. I would literally go and douse myself in the tester, and after 5 minutes I could not smell anything. It was just non-existent. It just evaporated on my skin, and I hate to say this because I know Viktor and Ralph make some really nice perfumes and they smell amazing, but on me, and I know that a lot of people don't have this experience, people say that they last forever. I've only tried 2 of their perfumes, which is Flower Bomb and Bonbon. Both of them do not last on me for more than, Flower Bomb tops an hour, Bonbon tops literally 5 minutes. So definitely for that kind of price point, I have no problem with reapplying perfumes, but I gotta have at least like 3 to 4 hours and then reapply. I'm not gonna be reapplying every 5 minutes. But the dupe that I have found is actually a celebrity perfume, so you already know it's gonna be super inexpensive and they smell exactly alike. Now I will say the dupe also doesn't have the best performance, but in my opinion, compared to the original, I think this has better performance, which is crazy. So the dupe for Bonbon is Paris Hilton Gold Rush. I actually bought this not having any idea that it was a dupe to Bonbon, but I was pleasantly surprised when I smelled it. The first thing that came to mind was Bonbon, and I was so happy because I've always loved the smell of Bonbon, but to have it in a little $20 version that I can always repurchase and that lasts me for longer was just amazing. This does not smell like a celebrity perfume. It also doesn't smell like a perfume that came from Paris Hilton because, in my opinion, a lot of the perfumes that she makes are more so on the, they're sweet, but it's kind of like sweet florals, sweet fresh florals, sweet fruity type of florals, but they always kind of have like this freshness to them. And in my opinion, I don't think that they are the most expensive smelling type of perfumes, but this one is. I think out of all of the perfumes that she's come out with, and that's a lot, I think this and maybe another perfume are like my favorite. This one specifically, like I said, is so good. And if you look at the notes side by side compared to Viktor and Ralph's Bonbon, it's kind of like the same thing, different fonts. Like while Bonbon has peaches, this has nectarines. So you know what I mean? Like same thing. Bonbon starts out with mandarin orange and orange. This has lemon and bergamot. So, you know, still citrusy. You have caramel in Bonbon, whereas in here you got praline. Cashmere wood in the dry down of this, whereas Bonbon has like cedar. So it's just like basically the exact same notes, just different variations. But even if you weren't like analyzing the notes, they still just smell exactly the same to me. It smells like a creamy caramel type of scent, but there's also a lot of depth to it, and it's also pretty light all at the same time. It's pretty sweet, like I said, and almost kind of has a gourmand feel to it because of that heavy caramel slash praline note. But I wouldn't say that this is like a cloying down your throat, like disgusting type of sweet smell. If you want a cheaper alternative to Viktor and Ralph's Bonbon, definitely try out Gold Rush from Paris Hilton. So now that the summer is about to come up, which I'm so excited for, and we are officially in springtime, like winter is over, but let me contain my excitement because we're not there yet. I'm showing this because we're getting into the warmer months, and I feel like this is a staple for the warmer months. And the scent that I'm talking about is a loved and equally hated perfume, which is Dolce & Gabbana Light Blue. I have the Eau Intense here, but obviously they smell very similar. This one's just like a little bit heavier, but they smell the same. Now this dupe is pretty much the only dupe in this video where they smell very similar. They smell almost exactly the same, but I like the dupe even better. I think the dupe smells so much better than the original. And that dupe is I Love Love by Moschino. This is from their Cheap and Chic line. I got this for like 20 bucks at Marshall's. This smell is summer in a bottle. This is lemon, citrus, fruits on blast, but also very woody all at the same time. And yes, they do definitely have a unisex vibe to them, and that's simply because there's not so much sweetness in here. There's a lot of feminine perfumes that are geared to women that have like a masculine vibe to them because they'll have like a cologne type of scent, but this is not that. This just is so fresh and so simple with the composition and so citrusy and lacks that super overly feminine sweetness that a lot of feminine perfumes have. And that is why this is a unisex perfume. And I'm only clarifying that because I know that a lot of women don't like perfumes that have that masculine touch to them, because there's a lot of women that don't want their perfumes to smell like they're wearing cologne. This is not going to be that. You're just going to be smelling like a fresh summer day, super clean, but not like laundry clean, just clean. And as far as the notes go for both of these, it's kind of the same thing like I said with Gold Rush and Bon Bon, which is the same notes but different fonts. So they both start off with a lot of citrus. This one has a little bit more than Light Blue does, and then you end off on like a really woody, sexy type of dry down that is just kind of like the signature of these fragrances, and that woodiness mixes so well with those citrus fruits. I'm not even a person that likes citrus scents. I steer clear of a lot of overly citrus perfumes because I find personally that a lot of them can lean almost like a cleaner, like Pine Sol, Windex, house cleaner type of scent, but these do not. They smell like expensive perfumes, but like I said, I prefer this more. I don't know what it is about it. This gives me even more of a summery feel. This just smells more juicy and like lifelike, but while still maintaining that perfumey, expensive, rich type of scent. The only thing I will say about this dupe is that this unfortunately does not last very long, and Light Blue, the intense version, lasts forever. But anyways, if you are looking for a cheaper alternative to Dolce & Gabbana's Light Blue, check out I Love Love by Moschino. Next, let's talk about a scent that I have given a lot of recognition to on my channel, and because of that, so many of you have bought it, and I'm so happy when you guys buy things that I recommend and you come back and tell me that it's like your favorite perfume ever. You wear it every day. It's become like your signature. Like when you basically rave about it as much as I do, and I basically influenced you to get something that you absolutely love. I just love that. I don't love that I'm making you guys spend money, and I know I always get those comments of people that are like, you're like draining my pockets. That's not my intention. I mean, you don't have to get every single thing that I recommend, but I just want to give exposure to as many products and affordable products as I can so that you can pick and choose what you like. But anyways, the perfume that I am duping is Mon Guerlain by Guerlain. I feel like just by me saying that, all of you probably know what I'm about to say next. The dupe that I have found to that, which is honestly better in my opinion, and that is Guess Seductive Noir. I got this bottle for $15. This is a 1.7 bottle, and I picked it up at TJ Maxx, but I've seen it at Marshall's, I've seen it at Ross. This perfume is insane. It really is. Mon Guerlain, in my opinion, the reason why I do not own it is because I found certain things to kind of stand out to my nose. It was a little bit screechy for me. The patchouli was a little intense and kind of in your face, and it didn't really mesh with the other notes, and maybe that's just a chemistry issue. Maybe it just didn't work with my chemistry, because I know a lot of people love it. But when I discovered Guess Seductive Noir, honestly, before I bought it and I was doing my research on it, I did see that one of the perfumes that this was compared to was Mon Guerlain, and that was actually one of the reasons that made me kind of not want to get this fragrance, because I didn't have the best experience with the original. So I was like, I don't know if I really want a scent like that in my collection. But I was like, you know what? It's $15. People are raving about it. And there was people in the comments that were also saying that it was better than Mon Guerlain. So I was like, I don't really have much to lose here. And I am so glad that I made the decision to actually buy this. This perfume is so sexy. The bottle is all black gold. It gives off like little black dress vibes, you know, going out to dinner vibes, going to a club, you're wearing a nice little sexy outfit, and this is your perfume, you're gonna be the best smelling person in that room, I swear. This smells so insanely good. Everybody that I have shown this perfume to, that has smelled this perfume, has also been so obsessed with the scent of this. This, compared to Mon Guerlain, the scents, yes, they are the same. This is smooth. This is exactly what I wish Mon Guerlain was. Nothing stands out in it. Nothing is screechy. There's nothing in here that you're gonna smell and be like, oh, I picked this up or that up. Like, all the notes are so amazingly blended together that it just created like this amazing smooth concoction. If you actually look at the notes in those two, I feel like I know exactly why I didn't like Mon Guerlain when you actually look at the notes. Mon Guerlain has lavender, which is kind of known to be kind of an out there scent, and it can almost lean a little masculine at times. I personally find this very feminine. And I know that lavender is hit or miss with some people, so I just wanted to mention that. And then, as I said, the patchouli was really strong in it. And in the base, you have a combination of sandalwood, licorice, benzoin, and patchouli. And in my opinion, it just kind of stands out. Like, they're not as blended as I would have want them to. And so when I spray it on my skin, it turns to that dirty patchouli type of scent that I really dislike in perfumes. And this one does not have patchouli. It lacks that screechiness. It lacks like that really overly earthy, dirty almost kind of scent. So yeah, that's all I need to say about it. This is, in my opinion, 10 times better than the original Mon Guerlain. But they are very similar to each other, which is why I'm adding it as a dupe. This is just better. I cannot recommend this perfume enough. I think I've talked about it like 300 times on my channel. So if you want a cheaper alternative to Mon Guerlain by Guerlain, check out Guess Seductive Noir. So we're gonna take a step back and go back to Viktor and Rolf's perfumes. As I was talking about Bonbon, I also said Flower Bomb, and I told you guys how Flower Bomb does not last on me. And I have found a dupe that is the same scent, but I find lasts on me more than Flower Bomb. It's not the best performing still, but it gives me at least 2 to 3 hours more of wear time than Flower Bomb did on me. So the perfume that I'm talking about is Oscar de la Renta Bella Rosa. This perfume is quite literally Flower Bomb in a different package. The only thing that I will say as far as a difference is that this one just starts off a tad bit fresher, but the dry downs are exactly the same. They both have kind of like a spicy citrus type of opening, and like I said, this one's just a little bit fresher on that opening. Maybe it's that freesia that gives off that little bit of a fresher type of scent. Flower Bomb does lack that freesia note. And then as far as the middle notes, you do get that rose that they both have, but it's like a very sweet rose. It's not going to be your realistic, overly mature, vintage type of rose. This is like a very modern, sweetened out rose. And then you do get patchouli in the base of both, but it's like very smooth patchouli, and it mixes with everything else really nicely. It doesn't turn dirty. It's just like really, really sweetened out. Kind of like basically a fruit chouli type of scent. So very, very sweet. That's basically the breakdown of the notes, but if we're not talking about notes, they smell exactly the same. I really do think that they smell so similar. So if you wanted to try out Flower Bomb on a budget, check out Bella Rosa from Oscar de la Renta. Okay, so the very last fragrance that I'm going to dupe in today's video is La Vie est Belle Intensement. So we're not talking about the original. Now the Intensement and the original obviously smell very similar, just a few little differences here and there. And I will say I am personally not the biggest fan of La Vie est Belle or any of the La Vie est Belles, basically. I'm just not a fan of that scent. I've smelled it so much that I'm just kind of over the smell, basically. That's not to say that it's a bad scent. I know people wear it. I know people love it. You do you, but it's just not for me. But if I had to pick which one I preferred, it would definitely be the Intensement. I just find it better. It's a little bit sweeter. I think I just prefer the fruits in it more, the notes, the combination of the notes, the dry down. And the dupe that I have is actually a perfume. This is another celebrity perfume, but this is a perfume that is not talked about at all. I have not heard one person. In fact, when I was doing my research before I blind bought this scent, I almost didn't buy it because I could not do any research on this. Thank God it was on Fragrantica, because Fragrantica has like every perfume known to man, but there was no reviews on it. There was nothing. The only thing that I could find about it was that it was compared to La Vie Belle Intense Mint. And I have smelled La Vie Belle Intense Mint. I knew that I liked it better than the original. And this perfume is Femme by Usher. I picked this up at Nordstrom Rack for like $15. This smells exactly like La Vie Belle Intense Mint. It's the same type of La Vie Belle type of smell. There's something in here I almost prefer more than Intense Mint or the original La Vie Belle. And I actually find that this perfume lasts on me, weirdly enough. I know celebrity perfumes get a bad rep for not being long lasting at all, but I think this actually lasts a good amount of time on me. The notes for both are pretty similar as well. You get red berries in here, whereas in Intense Mint you get raspberry. There's a pear note in here, and there's actually no pear note in Intense Mint, but there is a pear note in La Vie Belle. So that kind of just goes back to this fragrance is like a mixture, I feel like, of La Vie Belle and La Vie Belle Intense Mint. So it kind of goes either way. I just think that this is a little bit closer to Intense Mint. It's that same type of smoother, better fruits type of scent that is in Intense Mint. You get jasmine in both, that similar sweet, woody type of dry down. You get patchouli, which I feel like patchouli is kind of the main thing of La Vie Belle. But again, it's that strong, it is a fruit chuli, but the patchouli borderline kind of dominates a little bit for me anyways. And that's another reason why I have never loved La Vie Belle. And here it doesn't. It almost goes unnoticed. If I didn't see that this had patchouli, I wouldn't know that this had patchouli type of thing. It's fruity, kind of like a berry fresh opening, almost like a little tart, but then it settles down to a really feminine, woody, sweet, almost vanillic type of dry down. It is the closest dupe I have ever found to La Vie Belle Intense Mint. So definitely check out Femme by Usher if you are into that kind of scent. So that completes today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed these dupes. Please let me know your dupes in the comments, and I would love to include them in a future one of these videos. Just like I have my body mist for perfumes video, I want to create this series where I dupe perfumes for other perfumes. I just want to basically show you that you don't have to spend $1 million to smell good. You could spend $20 and you can smell just as good as a perfume that is $300. Please subscribe to my channel and turn your post notifications on, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!